Good afternoon. Well, I guess I'll stay on the subject of TNR. I didn't think I was going to make it here today in time, so I didn't bring you my folder of the week with all the complaints coming in from residents who have contacted the Town of Hempstead shelter who need help with TNR, and they are on the 6 to 8 month wait list. You know, it could be so easy. All you have to do is contract out these talented people. That's it. That's all you have to do. You've got tons of people who are out there anyway doing it for free. They would love to do it at a minimum and keep that shelter and the TNR program functioning. You do your TNR program is just like your volunteer program. It doesn't exist. The only cats that are being spayed and neutered are people who are trapping, like Randy, like Francis, like a bunch of trappers I know who are utilizing your free spay neuter. That is not a TNR. You need to contract out the TNR trappers. The few ACOs that you have, I'd like to mention, they're making salaries of $86,000 on the average. Isn't this a bit ridiculous to have these people sitting in vans trapping at $86,000 a year? I mean, can't you find anything better for them to do when these trappers would be doing it at a minimum? And what's going to happen? It's the season now. There's going to be tons of overtime. What are they going to make, $150,000 a year, these 3 people who are trapping? They can't do it. They can't handle the community. It's going to, financially, it doesn't make any sense. For what? Just to secure their jobs? Their jobs are secure anyway. I'm sure they're not going anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. And how long is it going to go on like this, that the volunteers are waiting and waiting? The few volunteers who have been called told me, Lucille, I want to go to the shelter, but there's very few cats there and we're not allowed to walk the dogs. So they're doing adoption days at Petco and PetSmart. They're driving all over the place. They don't mind doing it. But the idea is they want you to be in the shelter. In the shelter. So the same theory holds through. You don't want any of us in the shelter. It can't stay like this. The volunteers want to be in the shelter. The trappers want to help the shelter and the cats in our community. And eventually, we can't sit here for years talking about the same thing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense financially, and I certainly hope the state controller and everybody else is looking into this, because to have ACOs making this kind of money doing trapping and now getting overtime just doesn't make sense.